Here we are. Awesome to see everyone in the chat. Beautiful. Make sure your chat also is set to all panelists and attendees. So we are here because this is the time of the week where we finally breathe, right? Where we actually just do some inner work. We actually just are in a space of allowing, a space of surrendering, and a space of awareness. So I'll give you space right now to just breathe and to just feel what you're feeling. Some of you may have some love, peace, joy coming up. Other people may have some uncertainty or doubt or frustration, whatever it may be. This is the time where we just breathe, where we just feel, where we just allow those emotions to be there, where we're just okay with everything. So I'm sure you know magic starts to happen when you start to feel okay with everything that's happening in here and everything that's happening out there. That's when you're really in the magic place to not only build your life the way you want, but also have those business insights that you're after as well, and those business breakthroughs. And that's what this is all about. That's what this talk, this call, this session is really going to be about, helping have those business insights and those breakthroughs, and realizing that we can couple the spirituality in our path of personal growth with our business journey. So while we're doing that, just feel free to breathe. And while you're breathing, just for a moment, pay attention to your heart. Just feel this energy that's beating your heart, allowing the blood to flow around your body, the energy that allows your cells to reproduce, that makes your organs work in perfect harmony. And just get present to that energy that's within you while you breathe and while you hold space for whatever is coming up for you. As you breathe, you might notice some patterns you might not have noticed before. Where was it in this week or this month or even today where you were trying to shift the outside world with the belief that if that changes, I'll change how I feel? If that changes, I'll feel more loved. If that changes, I'll feel more safe. As if I go and achieve this thing, and finally when I achieve it, I'll feel enough. Where is it that you can notice those patterns that you might not have noticed before you took the time to breathe and get present to this energy that's connecting all of us? Now, one thing I love doing is, while I feel this energy that's connecting us, this energy that's allowing my heart to beat, your heart to beat, is to remember that we didn't do anything to earn it, right? We didn't do anything to earn this energy of life. We didn't have to go out and achieve. And when we were young, we had to make this happen. And then all of a sudden we had this heart that was beating with life. We didn't have to do anything or be anyone or achieve anything in order to be one with it. Now, here's the question. If we didn't have to do, be, achieve anything in order for us to have the gift of life, why would it be different for anything else? Now, odds are, if you're here, you want to tap into that abundance. You want to tap into, I want to have the life where I want to feel all of life. I want to experience the quality of emotions I want to feel. And I want to experience the quality of what's possible for me. for a lot of us, the main focus is, what can I contribute? What example can I be in the world? What mission am I here to do? What am I here to learn? And what am I here to contribute? And that can be in the form of business. That can be in the form of content. That can be in the form of videos. That can be in the form of creating a beautiful community around a particular mission. And you might want to form your business around your Dhamma, this thing that's pouring through you, this heartfelt energy of the reason why you're here. Now, some of you, when you breathe and you allow a lot of these emotions, will start to get more clear on that, what you're here to do and how you're here to serve. That's what I love helping people do as well. Because when you sit down and you meditate and you just allow everything in here, because you're allowing everything out there, you'll start getting nudges, guidance. You'll start getting high level ideas. You start getting this feeling of excitement towards something. And I believe that is tied into your Dharma. Your Dharma, your mission, your purpose, clarity around that will flow through when you connect more and more to yourself. So maybe just type in the chat box. Let's have a bit of a share. What is it that you guys are feeling? What's coming up for you? What emotions are you feeling? What thoughts come through when you just sit there in silence? What are you realizing that you didn't realize before? Let's get some indication on what you guys are going through, and then that might be able to channel where this conversation goes and what might come flowing through me. If you're willing to share, that would be awesome. You know, for me in the past few weeks, you know, while I put together this beta course, for example, that I'll talk about, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of questions on how can I add just more and more value. There's a lot of questions around how can I fund doing this. Also, while that comes up, also comes up the doubts and the frustrations and the things like the 5-year-olds I haven't looked at yet, right? And so that's one thing I'd love to raise awareness around and hold space for me as well. So Laura's saying open, uncertain, at peace. Beautiful. Isn't that amazing how you can feel open, uncertain, and at peace at the same time? I believe they go hand in hand, to be honest. So turning point in my life and business. And changing the way I do things. Awesome. Fully trusting source energy, has everything taken care of. Awesome. That there are things you don't need to, that need to be done. Beautiful. That's what the Tao is all about, right? The Tao, Lao Tzu, the Tao Te Ching, one of the major lessons is that you don't have to do anything and you'll leave nothing undone. You're just being done. Anyone who's listened to Wayne Dyer might hear this as well. You're just being done. Sarah, flipping from nervousness and anxiety to absolute love and groundedness. Beautiful. Daniel, I want to be confident in my work. Awesome. Barb, excited about the difference I make, just being my unique self. Amazing. And wanting to make my business more fun for me, says Amanda. Exactly. I mean, if we're not having fun, there's something not right there. And that depends on your definition of fun. My definition of fun is also expansive. So that means also holding space for this uncertainty, vulnerability, this anxiety, stress. Holding space for all of that can be very expansive despite being uncomfortable, which I think is also fun. It's part of the journey, right? So the reason why I think these go hand in hand is because the more you open a space, the more you just feel, and more you just feel everything, and the more you're okay with these emotions of stress or worry or doubt or frustration, like they're coming to your conscious awareness because at some level you've opened up a safe enough space for those internal 5-year-olds to come to your conscious awareness. The example I use all the time, for those of you who might be new, this might resonate with you at a different level. Those of you who may have heard this before, it's always a good reminder. The emotions that are coming up in you right now, especially the uncomfortable emotions, they're like a 5-year-old, right? So if you would imagine a 5-year-old coming up to you in a park, let's say it's someone else's 5-year-old, and you can see there's a lot of love in their eyes, but they're also very scared. Let's say they don't know where their parents are. Would you say to that 5-year-old, go away until you feel better? Right? If they come to you for safety, would you say it's wrong you're feeling scared? You need to be fixed. You need to be feeling something different. All right? We couldn't imagine saying that. But that's what we do to our internal 5-year-olds. Right? When we avoid, when we resist, when we push them down. Right? That's what we do to our internal 5-year-olds. When we have an internal 5-year-old come up to our conscious awareness that has a belief that says, this needs to be a certain way in order for me to feel this way, that 5-year-old is going to come up to your conscious awareness, right? To be seen, to be heard, to be understood, to be loved. Everyone following? So let's give this a practical example. If you're being triggered by something right now, in the form, let's say in business or money or sales, a lot of people are triggered by sales or marketing, for example. If you're being triggered by that, it is your spiritual gift. Everything, a lot of you know, a lot of you are very tapped into this. Everything that triggers you externally is your spiritual gift. And why is that? Because it taps into the very side of you need to see. So a lot of people are triggered by external behaviors of other people, right? For me, it was people I perceived as lazy for a long time. I got into personal development and I was growing my business and I was very productive, right? I was growing my business. I was growing my online community. I was making my first 10K months. I was doing a lot of hard work and hustle. So I was pushing down the side of me that could relax, the side of me that could be chill. And because I was pushing that down, I saw that characteristic as lazy. So what happens if my unconscious mind is pushing that down so much? What happens when I see that externally in someone else, that characteristic that I've been pushing down unconsciously? What happens when I see that characteristic in the form of someone else? I will think their behavior is wrong. I will be triggered by that behavior of lazy because I've been pushing that down in myself so much, right? That's why if I'm triggered by that person's behavior, it's a direct highway into me of what sides of me I need to love, what sides of me I need to heal, what sides of me need to integrate with my soul, my wholeness, so that I can become more whole. Because trust me, if I didn't heal that side of me, there'd be no way I'd be meditating 2 hours a day, right? There'd be no way in hell I'd be able to do that. Because that lazy side has a certain allowing, relaxing, a different perspective on life that's not striving, hustle, hard work, but it's allowing, it's surrendering. And because I integrated that side of me and started loving that side of me, that's when I started seeing the benefits that can come with it. That is evolved into the form of meditation. So who's with me? Type in yes if you can see that what triggers you externally is your spiritual gift at some level. Type in yes if you resonate with that. See a lot of yeses from Hannah, Laura, Barb, Jamie, Tracy, Amanda, Lisa, Sarah. Yeah, it's a really good level of awareness, right? To notice, Daniel, beautiful. It's a really good level of awareness to notice that whatever I'm being triggered by has nothing to do with the external world, everything to do with myself. Therefore, it's my spiritual gift to become more whole. Because if I'm more whole within myself, I can give more to the world, right? If I'm more whole within myself and I love all sides of me, I can tap into more resourcefulness. I tap into source more because it's not filtered by what I'm pushing down, right? And therefore I can contribute more to the world. I can be more creative, more resourceful, more connected, more passionate, right? My true self comes through. And a lot of you want to have the goal of creating a business that's aligned, a business that's your soul, a business that's your Dhamar. And this is the journey. Because one thing that is your spiritual gift that's being triggered is around money. It's around sales, right? It's around marketing. It's around business growth. That can be triggered in us, especially if we're light workers, especially if we're coming from a heartfelt place, especially if we just want to serve. We can have this connotation, we can have this judgment around business and sales. Why do you think we are triggered by that? Why do you think that's triggering us? Why do you think it's true? Why do you think we see that externally and we think about selling and we think about exchange of money? And why is that triggering within us? It's our spiritual gift. It's our spiritual gift to show us the sides of us, the 5-year-olds that we're pushing down, the 5-year-olds that have a particular belief. So what is that belief for you? What are you particularly believing? What is this 5-year-old within you that has a scarcity or fearful or judgmental mindset around business growth or marketing or sales? What is that 5-year-old believing? Here's the beautiful thing. Not only is it your spiritual gift, but if it's being triggered and it's coming to your conscious awareness, it's coming to your conscious awareness because it's ready to be seen. It's ready to be loved. At some level, you've opened up a loving, safe space for that 5-year-old to come to your conscious awareness, to come to be seen. And for a lot of you, it's now in your expansion to start looking at that 5-year-old. And here's why. A lot of you have already come to this realization. A lot of you have come to this insight. But if not, I offer just to breathe and just to feel this within yourself. Feel if this is resonating with you. One second, I'll turn my heater off. I always turn this little heater on and then the room gets way too warm. So feel this while you breathe. Feel if this is true for you. Because this was true for me as well. But when you have a fear of sales, or you feel it's manipulative, or you feel that, selling your services is a trigger for you, notice where that comes from and notice where the lack is. Notice where the scarcity is. Because if you feel like if there's an exchange and I'm taking from them and I feel bad that I'm taking from them, can you see within yourself how there may be a belief that taking offers a space of they're less off, right? They're less off because I took money from them. And the reason why I feel bad when I do that is because I feel like money is scarce, right? Money's not abundant. And if you can feel that within yourself, what you might also realize is that by doing that and by having that belief and feeling that way, I might also be not looking at who and what they are deep down. Because if who and what they are a spiritual being that's connected to source, if they are a being who's connected to source, who is living from a place of abundant and endless possibility, why would I ever feel bad that I take something from them? Right? If I feel bad about selling, I'm not seeing them for who and what they are. And I'm not demonstrating and showing them and teaching them who and what they really are. They are endless abundant. They are tapped into source. They're tapped into this connection and that endless possibility, unlimited possibility. And I talked a little bit about this yesterday on the collaboration call, the serving circle, where when I look at a client or I look at someone in this community, I see just endless potential. You are God consciousness, Buddha consciousness, right? You have this divinity flowing through you, the Tao, whatever you want to call it. And if I feel bad that I'm taking from you, that's robbing you from who and what you are, really. And so this is why I believe deep down, and you might believe this as well, that business and spirituality are one and the same. If you're being triggered by things in business, but you also have this pull to serve, like in there is some deep lessons, right? Can you feel that? Can you feel that there's some deep lessons in there? Like, oh my God, I want to serve. I want to just create this message and have this big mission. And there's something flowing through me. But then again, how do I make money doing it? How do I sell? How do I not feel manipulative? How do I do this in a way that's fun? Can you feel the lesson in there? Can you feel the expansion of growth? If you're being triggered, it's your spiritual gift. And if you're being triggered by things in business or things in marketing, like that to me is the vehicle that can help you be more whole. Right? Because if you're just in an expansion of truly who and what we are, then you'll realize that this money that's flowing through is just energy. And it won't be just an intellectual conversation. It won't be just something that you built, like that you have as a thought. It'll be like physical in you, where you just realize, okay, money's just an exchange of energy. And in fact, how do I know that when they invest in like a lot of you are coaches or healers or, some sort of light worker who has the mission to heighten the level of consciousness, right? How do you know that by them investing in your services, they're not going to tap into who and what they are and therefore have an unlimited amount of abundance flow through? Why would I feel bad about giving them that gift of realization, of insight? Now, that selling and that marketing and that business growth can come from a place of love. A lot of people are using these tools and strategies from a place of manipulation. I feel like that's coming out of alignment for a lot of people, but what's coming into alignment is using the same tools or the same modalities just from a place of unconditional love. I think that's in our expansion now. And that's what I love to put together. And I'm putting, like a lot of you know, I'm putting together that beta course that's going to help people do this. Combine the marketing strategies and the tools and tactics of sharing your gift and your Dhamma and feeling aligned doing it, while having your spiritual growth while doing it, while healing these internal 5-year-olds that you might not be aware of. But trust me, when you do, you're able to give more and more of this gift. And I'll be transparent. I've been waking up in the mornings and feeling doubt, right? Feeling scarcity myself, feeling whatever it may feel. And I know it's got nothing to do with finances or anything like that. I've got enough money in the bank. I've got a large, beautiful audience and a community here. But when I wake up and feel that, I know it's got nothing to do with that. It's got everything to do with the 5-year-old I need to look at and hold a safe space for. Right. And because I do that, because I sit down and I have the time and the space to just do that work, I can share this with authenticity right here. And that's what you can do in business as well. So if anyone has any questions, just let me know. I'm just riffing. I'm just sharing what's coming up for me and sharing my heart. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to let me know. You can even type them in the Q&A if you have a specific question, because I know there's a lot of chat going on here and I can't really read them all. But hopefully this helps. Give me an indication. Maybe type in yes if this is resonating, if this is helping you develop a different relationship you have with your business. I'd love to know. Awesome. Beautiful. And here's the way I sort of describe it as well. This is a question I like to ask. And I'll be releasing more and more details and information about the upcoming course. But here's one question I love to ask. If you were to see your business as a separate entity from yourself, if you were to see your business as a separate entity, what do you think your business needs most? What do you think your business needs from you? And if you were to sit down and feel, what is it that my business needs? Most of you will come up with the answer of revenue, right? If that was a separate entity and you were just completely detached to outcomes of money or sales, whatever, you can see that that entity needs revenue, consistent revenue, right? Because if that has consistent revenue, it can be a healthy business. It will allow you to stick to your zone of genius while you delegate other tasks. It will allow you to spread the word in the form of ads or in the form of some sort of marketing that's leveraged so you can reach more and more people. And the more and more people you reach, the more and more people you help. And therefore it recycles, right? It just recycles. The more people you help, the more lives you transform, the more revenue you make. The more revenue you make, the more people you can help, the more people you can reach, the more you can stick to your zone of genius, the more creativity and flow and alignment will flow through, and therefore it just expands. And same about when you were breathing at the start of this call, you can do all of that from a place of love. Unconditional love for your clients, for people going through your course. And if someone's not aligned, if they jump into your program or they jump in with your service, then you can feel free to just give them their investment back so that they can invest it in something that is aligned, right? It's that simple. But if they have that transformation that you're the expert in helping them achieve, what does that mean for their life? I like to go with the guideline that whatever their investment is, the outcome needs to be 10 times the value. Right? That's generally the way I see business. If someone invests, they need to see at least a 10 times return on the value. And if you deliver that 10 times, they're going to they love the fact they had the ability to pay you. Because once they invest, they're investing more than just finances, right? They're investing their time, their energy, their effort. They're making a decision that says, I'm committed to this outcome, whether it be a healing, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a transformation personally, whether it be something in their business, right? They're investing their energy and their time and making a decision saying, this is important to me. Right? This is important. And that brings up a lot of our own stuff, which is beautiful. It's just so beautiful. I find the more I work with clients around this sort of stuff, the more you start to realize this is all just connected. It's all connected. So hopefully this is resonating. It's such a beautiful topic. And it just comes down to you serving and you sticking to your Dharma, right? Because if it feels expansive for you to grow a business online, then all this is coming up for a reason. It's all coming up for a reason. It's just awesome. All right. So Jamie says, okay, that just answered my question. The question was, how do you respond to people wanting stuff for free? Like a lot of people can, like you can deliver stuff for free. Like I do these calls, I do the YouTube channel, I do the podcast, all those different things, right? But so many people, like I love investing in courses. One thing I'll share in some emails and some videos is how I started making my first 10K months, my very first 10K month. And it was when I had about $7 grand in the bank. And all of a sudden I put down a deposit for a business course that was 12 grand. And you want to think about some spiritual growth and you know, holding space for some 5-year-olds, that was huge. But here's the thing. When I invested, I put down a two grand deposit and I had to make my first 10 grand month in order to get into that program, in order for that program to work. And I was just so excited. I was excited. I was pumped. I was just curious. Like all these things came up along with all of the fear, doubt, and frustration. Right. And I started to realize, I'm like, man, I love investing. That's why when I was in Canada, I started my coaching journey. I invested half of everything I had in the bank, when I'm a poor traveling Australian with so much uncertainty on the other side of the world. I invested the money straight up. And I was like, holy shit, I'm like on my edge of expansion. And that is so exciting. And if you're missing that excitement, if you're missing that on edge, like there's so much uncertainty, but there's excitement and growth and uncertainty and fear, like what are we doing if we're not living there, you know? Like what are we doing? It feels exciting and on edge for a reason, because it's our heart showing us. This is your calling. This is the right steps. This feels expansive, right? Hannah says she'll have to watch the replay. So people I love investing in courses, right? In business courses, whether it be years ago with Sam Ovens or with Consulting Accelerator, or whether it be a business coach, right? Some of you may know some of my business coaches that I've had in like Susie Rosenstein or Richmond Din, or some courses I had. I'm doing James Wedmore at the moment. I've had business courses, you know, in the form of spirituality and coaching, like the Robbins Madonna's training coaching. I just like, it's scary to invest, right? You feel the fear, allow the fear to be there. But then also you realize, if I live in that fear and I allow that fear to make my decisions, where am I going to be in 6 months, 12 months, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Where am I going to be if I make my decisions from that fear? But on the other side of fear is the excitement and the expansion, right? Is the possibility, endless possibility of what happens when you live on your edge. Crazy. And so I love investing in that, especially if it's outside my comfort zone, especially if my mind's telling me not to. but my heart's saying yes. My heart's saying this feels expansive, right? A lot of you have done that. Have you ever bought that house or had that trip or spent money on that course where your heart was like, yes, this feels expansive, this feels exciting, right? But your mind also says, this makes no sense. You're being irresponsible. You don't have that money, whatever it may be. But you went for it anyway. And you either got the lessons you're meant to learn or the higher level opportunities that your mind couldn't see. Crazy, right? That's where I encourage everyone to live. It's making the decisions from that heart. I have a couple rules when someone signs up through my courses. One is you have to be willing to feel all emotions. And two, when your heart gives you that guidance or that insight or that nudge, you have to take it. I don't care if your heart has this expansion that says run for presidency. Like if your heart guides you there and has that, you have to do it. That's basically the rules I have, because that's living on edge. That's you living in your expansion. That's your soul, your heart, your spirit saying, do that. And some of you are here because of that. Some of you are here because this feels like a pull for you. So one thing I'd love to do that I feel is in a lot of people's expansion is when you feel that fear, can you feel what that feels like now? Whether that be the uncertainty or the feeling bad of selling, whether it be the feeling uncertain or fear of investing or following a path, right? Telling someone I love you, whatever it may be. If you have that feeling of uncertainty or fear or doubt, I just want to hold the space for you right now to just feel it and be okay with feeling it and feeling it for as long as you need to. If you have that fear that says, oh, I don't want to sell this, but your heart says it's expansive, right? I don't want to hire that. Like my head says, don't hire that health coach. But your heart says it's expansive. It feels aligned. It feels uncertain, but exciting, right? I'm just going to give you the space for a minute or so to just feel that. Be okay with it. Just take some deep breaths. Just allow that uncertainty to be there. Just feel it. Just breathe. Notice where you feel it in your body. Notice where you feel it, and to yourself, just describe it in detail. Does it feel heavy or empty or jagged? Does it feel hot? Is it pulsating? Is it moving? What is that feeling in your body when you have this uncertainty or doubt or fear? Just breathe with it. Allow it to be there. Welcome it in. This is a 5-year-old that has a particular belief, right? A particular belief that is ready to be seen and ready to be transcended. It's ready to move on. It's ready to move on because you know, your higher self knows that if this isn't seen, right? If you stay at one level with the amount of health or relationship or love or business and finances, if you stay at this level and you stay playing small, your higher self knows that's not in your highest expansion. That's why these 5-year-olds are coming up to be seen, so you can transcend into a new pattern, a new way of being. But the more you feel it, the more you hold space for these internal 5-year-olds, the more you hold space for this uncertainty and doubt, whatever it may be, the more you tap into unconditional love. Because you have unconditional love for yourself. You're holding a space for unconditional love no matter what you feel. You therefore can feel higher level ideas, higher level resourcefulness, creativity, alignment, passion. That's what I feel we can start pouring into our business, where you can market, sell, grow, your online community or online network or audience from such a place of love and vulnerability and authenticity and openness, where it's just you sharing your heart, you helping in a way that is your Dhamar. And when you start to have those exchanges, you start to be paid for what you do, you can feel awesome about that as well. Because when they invest, they're investing their time, their energy, their effort, they're making a decision to improve their life 10 times, right? 10 times. And that's just where perfect harmony comes into it. It's just where you have this ball of momentum, right? As an example, for the collaboration calls, right? They've been incredible. They've been incredible with the relationships that have been formed, the collaborations, the joint ventures, the partnerships, the service exchanges. And that was just so effortless, right? It was just so effortless for me to start that and to house that environment, because everyone in the community is just so heart-centered, and it was effortless. Now that's like not only fun for me, but I've met so many new people, so many other collaborations, where it's also my business has grown as a byproduct, right? Now, this wasn't me starting a collaborative call saying, I'm going to get this out of that, I'm going to have this many people, I'm going to structure it this way and whatever. It was just coming through from my heart. And I had no clue what was going to happen. I still have no clue what's going to happen. But so many people are reaching out, inviting their friends, asking how they can help, asking how they can serve, right? And for those of you who were on there yesterday, my sister loved the messages. It was my sister's birthday. For those of you who weren't there, it was my sister's birthday, and everyone in the chat said happy birthday to my sister Zoe. And then I sent her that, and I recorded it and sent her that video. She loved it. It was awesome. So that was, these are the fun things that you can do in business. It's fun. It's expansive. It's scary. It's like on edge, but through that edge, there's a lot of love, a lot of fun, a lot of a fulfilling journey, right? You can feel it's in your expansion. You can feel this is where your higher self is taking you. It's just up to you to make that decision. All right, make the decision that is scary but expansive. I've done it time and time again, and I will not stop. I will not stop making decisions that way. It has to be from your heart. So does anyone have any questions before we finish up? This is a huge topic, I know. Such a big topic, and such a one it's triggering, but it's also very, very needed, especially in the world of light workers who just give from such a heartfelt place. I think there is a way we can form that heart-centeredness with business. I think it's so key. So does anyone have any questions? Or shall I just riff for another 10 minutes? Now my tea's cold. Let me know also if this helped. Let me know if this topic resonates with you. Let me know if this is triggering, if it feels expansive. Jamie says it's so helpful. You're very welcome. Lee says this was severely helpful. Awesome. Feeling the energy expanding and opening. New ideas flowing. That's the idea. You will feel new ideas, and you pour those ideas into your business. It will be pulled by your heart. You'll feel it. It's a pull, not a push. Turning our empathy, sensitivity, and love into our superpowers. Yes, totally. My head is telling me to stop doing the ClickFunnels challenge because it feels hard to do. My heart is telling me to go for it. How beautiful is that, hey? Understanding the difference between your head and your heart. I'll riff about that if you like. It's validating what I've been going through. Glad I was able to join the session. Awesome. Welcome, Daniel. Welcome. Laura says, very helpful. Still at a standstill. Awesome. Can you be okay with that? Trust me, for 6 months, for a long time, I just sat in this chair right here. I just sat there. When I didn't know what to do, or my heart wasn't pulling me towards something, I didn't do anything. I just sat there and I was just okay with not knowing. That's such a huge piece. I'm thinking of adding a big component in the beta course of people going through this, of the indecision of being okay with not knowing. Right? You're being pulled by your heart in business. And therefore, if you're being pulled by this generally won't know, right? Your mind's trying to work it out. Your heart's being guided by something that's bigger than what this can see. So that's why generally you can plan and you can do all those sort of different things. And I can teach you some strategies on how to grow your business or your marketing and messaging. That will all be a piece. But the underlying premise will be sometimes you have to be okay with not knowing. You have to just sit there and just be okay with not knowing and just allow for that guidance to flow through. It's such a cool place to be. And I feel like not many people are there in business. Amanda says, I'm there now after 20 years in business. Yeah. Not knowing what's next. That's beautiful. Hey. James says, yeah, I'm not okay with where I am. Yeah. This is a lot of people. A lot of people resonate with this. I keep feeling I should be somewhere else. Who has ever felt that? Who has ever felt like they should be somewhere else? Like they need to be somewhere else. As soon as I get this or achieve this or get this place, right? It's huge. So common. So common. So pay attention to that. Maybe after this call, just spend some time breathing and just start recognizing, what is the relationship to my business? Eckhart Tolle talks about this all the time. There are certain relationships you have with this moment. Some people have their relationship to this moment is one that needs to change, one that's like an enemy, an obstacle that needs to be overcome, right? Instead of having this moment like a friend. A lot of people have their relationship with their business. What's the relationship you have with your business? A lot of people say, this business, the relationship I have, my belief is you should change. You should be doing better. You should be making more money. You should be, you should be different. You should be somewhere where you're not. So what is life trying to teach you? It's trying to help you have a different relationship with business, where you're not in resistance. How much growth can you have when you're in resistance? It's like trying to put your foot on the gas pedal in the car while your other foot's on the brake. That's generally what happens to business owners when they're trying to grow and trying to expand and trying to help more and more people. Then they have a fear of selling, or they feel out of alignment with their marketing and their message. It's like trying to accelerate while putting your foot on the brake. It really is. And that's your relationship with that's what happens when your relationship with your business is you should change, you should be bigger, you should be making more revenue. What happens if you just have a healthy, honest relationship with your business where you just love it regardless, where you just love the opportunity, you love it as an entity of what it's doing for you? Come from unconditional love. That's when you take your foot off the brake and you're able to accelerate. And here's the crazy thing. You're able to accelerate and you don't actually have to press down as hard. You don't have to work as hard or try as hard because your foot's off the brake. You just accelerate at your own pace and accelerate in a way that is your heart's calling, in a way that's expansive, that's a guidance for you. Because you're okay with this moment, you have a loving relationship with this moment, you have a loving relationship with your business, you have a loving relationship with yourself, right? A lot of you may know, or at least starting to realize, that your business is a reflection of you. I would even go as far as say your business is a reflection to the relationship you have with yourself. Is that something to end on? Your business, truly, you'll feel this in meditation. If you sit down and meditate in silence for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever it may be, you will feel your business, your outcomes, whatever you're getting right now in terms of reach or revenue or clients, whatever it may be, is a reflection of the relationship with yourself. And that's why spirituality and business, they can't be separated. They're whole, right? It's what's connecting us. So hopefully this helps everyone. Thanks for everyone who's reached out, who's showed interest in the upcoming beta course. I'm excited, truly excited to see what we can form together and what we can do. I'll be releasing a few more details via email for those of you who have signed up, for those of you who have showed interest, and I'll be sharing details over the next coming weeks as it comes through for me as well. So I want to thank you guys for joining live. It was awesome. This call was something special. I truly do feel so connected to everyone who just jumps on here and is willing to hear me talk for an hour, but also have some deep insights as well. So it's been very, very special. I always feel connected to you guys. Thank you so much for what you're doing for the community, for the collaborative calls, for supporting me in my work as well. I'll definitely continue. Awesome. Feel free to reach out and say hi if you guys want. Always happy for a chat. Thanks so much. I shall see you guys next week for the collaborative call. So this is the same day and time each week. So if you want to grab your phone and put it in your calendar, make sure you can do that as well. You can use the same link. So same day, same time. Each week we do these calls, and then the collaborative calls the same time, but yesterday. So I'll see you guys on the collaborative calls if you want to meet some cool, heart-centered people. Much love, guys. Much love and support. Have an awesome rest of your week. Take care.